shows. I have exhibited at the Haldeman Artworks, and I had a one-woman show 2 years ago at the Paletta Gatehouse. And I sell on commission privately as well. I've done a lot of commissions over the years for people who have a picture and I paint for them.
Now, how long, for example, would it take you to paint that picture with the trees in the winter scene?
That would take off and on a couple of weeks because you go back and forth to it. You do your basic background and then you add in the trees and different accents and colors.
What's your favorite type of picture to paint?
I love water. Anything to do with water and trees and mountains. It's my favorite.
Is there anything different you haven't done yet that you're going to try?
I like architectural buildings. I have done a few cottages for people on commission, but I'd like to do cityscape. I'd like to try that next.
My goodness, the mayor of Burlington sure has a lot of talents. I had no idea, and I think many people don't know that you're a musician.
Well, actually, a few people do. I did actually perform December the 1st at the brand new Burlington Performing Arts Center at one of the opening events called the Blue Jeans Gala. And I tried to pull off what the Prime Minister is able to pull off. I wasn't very good, so I won't be performing in public again.
When did you start this in your life?
I started when I was 5 or 6. My mom was very keen that my sister and I have a sort of a balanced upbringing, so I did play hockey as a kid and was involved in sports, but she really encouraged us to also take the piano. And so I started when I was 5 or 6. I got as far as grade 7 Royal Conservatory, and I stopped when I was grade 9 in high school.
Let's listen to some more.
Well, okay.
In addition to being mayor, he is also a bit of a part-time cook. And Rick, what brings this all about? You don't have time to cook?
This is a very recent phenomenon. I was a part of an event recently for the Bereaved Families of Ontario, Hamilton Burlington chapter, and it was a great event where we had 40 chefs participate, bring 50 portions of food for 300 people at the Leona station in Hamilton, and they raised lots of money for the Bereaved Families of Ontario. It was a great event. And anyway, I had fun for about an hour and a half. The day of the event, cooking the food. It was great. I cooked a red curry maple chicken with basmati rice. How's that sound? Do I sound like a chef when I say that?
You certainly do, and you're showing us some of your talents here right now. So how often do you do this? How often do you get involved
not very.
At home?
Not very. The honest answer is not very. However, I'm going to be competitive for next year. I'm going to be invited back to the event, and I want to win the prize. I didn't win the prize this year, so men, we're competitive. All the guys are talking about how we can do a better recipe for next year. So I'm going to be experimenting between now and the next event a year from now.
Daphne Jakes is the assistant to the mayor. And Daphne, what is that like?
Well, Ralph, it's actually a great job. I'm new to the job in the sense that I wasn't with the city prior to the last election, and I came in as part of Rick's staff when he came in December 2010. And it's a really inspiring job. I learn an awful lot every single day.
You must work fairly closely with the mayor.
Absolutely.
Do you schedule him? Do you make his press notes?
All of that. We're actually a team of 4, and we're a very close-knit team. We because there are only the 4 of us, we sort of work as a team on most projects. We do everything from the scheduling to writing briefing notes, speaking notes. We attend events for him, sometimes on his behalf. We also accompany him at times. Julie and I are sometimes the official photographers, and more recently, even videographers, as we sort of join the YouTube world. And, you know, we are always into new things every single week. There's a new challenge for us.
From home life to the pulse of the city of Burlington, we're with Mayor Goldring in his office at Burlington City Hall. And Rick, you must have some things that have been proud for you to have been already involved in from the beginning of your first term as mayor, which is only a year and a quarter. And this Burlington initiative, I think that's what you call it, or Innovative Burlington.
Yeah.
That's an initiative. Started at the beginning of your term. Tell us about that.
Well, Innovate Burlington is a program. The big idea came up during my election campaign while we were trying to develop a election campaign.
Yeah.
And in a platform, I should say. And in any event, the whole issue came up about youth and how so many of our youth, they graduate from university or college and they don't live here. And they go off to other places to find other opportunities because there's a challenge for youth getting established in Burlington. And so in any event, Innovate Burlington was put together by a number of people, representatives of the Burlington Economic Development Corporation, the Burlington Chamber of Commerce, the Center for Skills Learning and Development, McMaster University, as well as Frank McEwen from my office, and a number of other people sat down together to come up with a program that would match youth who are looking for a way to start their careers, along with companies, Burlington companies, that have a need for certain projects to be done. So the idea is we match up the graduates with a Burlington company for a 3 to 6 month period of time so that they could do a specific project for that period of time for that company.
That does sound innovative. And can you give us any examples of what has begun to unfold?
We just announced very recently our very, very first placement as an MBA graduate from the DeGroote School who's connected with a brand new company called Global Mobility Products. And this particular company is growing greatly. They process 50,000 of handheld phone units a month. And they reharvest them, they recycle them, and they reharvest them, or they harvest them to take out the good parts and recycle them to other locations. So that's just an example of one of the companies in Burlington that's doing some interesting things. We hope to be able to announce before the end of the year another 15 or 16 placements before the end of the year.
Before the end of 2012?
Before the end of 2012. We're hoping. So we really want to promote this to both the graduates as well as Burlington companies, because this is an opportunity for a Burlington company to be connected with a recent graduate who's got a different knowledge base to really help them in some specific projects that they can get involved in. And you know, we've got lots of support in the community about it. A lot of people in other communities thinks it's a great initiative.
I was going to ask you that. What about some of the surrounding communities? Are they in on this? Are they going to join you?
This is primarily a Burlington initiative.
I know.
But some other communities are looking at replicating what we're doing here.
You have no problem with that?
Oh, no problem at all.
In fact,
No,
you'd
absolutely.
probably make your information available.
Yeah. We have an issue with youth. And the reality is this: baby boomers are living longer and working longer. A, because they like their jobs, and B, because they have to because of financial circumstances. So it's very much a great challenge in an aging community for younger people to get a start. Typically they go to Toronto, and because of the nightlife and there's lots more opportunities, we want to see if we can keep some of our recent Burlington graduates in Burlington, at least for a period of time, to give them some real experience, something to put on their resume, and it could be the foundation for them establishing a significant career or even starting a business in the future.
And then you might turn one or two of them into politicians, and they might become mayor sometime.
You never know. You never know. Absolutely.
And I think it was the fall of the year just passed, which would have been 2011, yeah. The province made a nice announcement about Joe Brand Hospital, and that was shortly after you took over control, I believe.
Well, it was August the 10th of 2011, where the provincial government made an announcement to give the go-ahead to Joseph Brand Memorial Hospital for a significant redevelopment. And that announcement was made on August the 10th, and we've been working hard with the hospital, trying to establish a memorandum of understanding and a contribution agreement to define on what basis the city will be providing $60 million to the hospital. We're excited about the project. The community's excited about the project. The taxpayer, our council on behalf of the taxpayer, has committed up to $60 million to the project. We really need to stand behind the hospital 100%, shoulder to shoulder, and with the provincial government, so that this project can go to tender in a couple of years, and we can get started on a brand new redeveloped hospital.
Have you any idea? I know the city's contribution is up to $60 million. Have
Right.
you any idea what the overall may be?
Well, originally it was priced at $312 million. That was the original public number probably about 3 years ago. So there's probably some inflation that goes along with that. So I'm not sure what the final number will be, and I don't think anybody is sure what the final number will be until the project gets underway and is actually finished. But the project will be constructed via Infrastructure Ontario. That is the agency that's actually responsible for the construction of the redevelopment.
Do you have total council support for this project?
Absolutely.
And now tell us some of the things that are going to happen in there. I think a new operating room and
Several new
quite
operating
a lot of
rooms.
things.
One of the key things that people thought originally was a luxury item, but certainly isn't, and that's having 85 or 90% private rooms. From an infection control point of view, private rooms is what you need. And private rooms is a standard for 21st century hospitals. So one of the ideas will be to have 85 or 90% private rooms, enhanced cancer clinic, enhanced operating rooms, certainly a bigger emergency clinic, and many other additions to the project.
I read someplace you've even refined the enhancement right down to more parking.
Well, certainly, a parking garage is
Yeah.
a plan that the hospital has as part of this redevelopment. Is a bigger parking garage, absolutely.
And when is this going to be finished?
The parking garage, which is the phase one of the project, I believe the hospital,
No, I meant the whole thing.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
We're looking at a tender in 2014-15. With construction shortly thereafter to start. That's the ideal target. We'll wait and see to see what happens, but that's the target is 2015, the shovel will be in the ground.
Why was Burlington earmarked as Canada's riskiest city?
Well, that was interesting. That was a particular company that provides antivirus software actually rated Burlington the highest at risk from an online point of view. I think when you analyze it is that the city uses uses the internet all the time. And you have people that use internet commerce, use social media, and uses the internet for communication on a regular basis. Because we use it so much, we're more at risk.
Somebody used the term cyber crime. How
Right.
did you feel about that word crime attached to your beautiful Burlington?
Well, I think we tried to turn it around into a positive, that so many people are online and connected electronically, that this is all a positive thing. But I think one of the things that makes us feel better is the fact that the Halton Regional Police say that there's no statistics to substantiate that Burlington's at higher risk than other communities.
Now, I understand that you have created for yourself a little bit of a program that I thought was extremely proactive, and that you take one or two of your counselors and you go to different places in Burlington
Right.
and visit them.
Yeah.
In the short time left, can you just tell us how that is working?
I've had a ward tour with almost every councillor on Burlington City Council, where they've taken me out to the wards they represent and given me an up-close and personal look at some of the issues in their particular wards. I've done that for almost everybody. But I've also gone outside of Burlington. I've been to Guelph to talk to the Mayor of Guelph about their community energy plan. I've been to the City of Kitchener to meet with the Mayor of Kitchener with regard to what their downtown plans are and how they've evolved. And I've been to Portland, Oregon as well, back last June of 2011, and I spent 3 days in meetings with various staff members as well as the Mayor in Portland, Oregon.
Finally, are you going to run again for mayor in 2014?
I think that's a little early for me to register. I can't register until January 2014.
You're that excited already.
But I think yes, the plan is that at this stage, certainly, I will be running again, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this brings to conclusion this edition of On the Road with Ralph. On behalf of Burlington Mayor Rick Goldring and everybody else that helped us put this program together, we thank you very much for watching, and we hope you enjoyed it. So until the next time, keep active, keep involved, and have a good day. I'm Ralph Robinson.